Hey, it's about time for a haircut, Oliver. So I thought I'd make this video and show people how to cut their own hair. Hopefully it gives people some confidence that they can do it themselves. I like to start by starting around the ears. I tend to like a shorter around the ears and the back, and a little longer up top and in the front. That just tends to look better on me, and I think on most people in general. So I just grab a little bit with my finger, and I try to get generally behind my ears so my ears are just showing. Just cut away. I'm using my fingers as a guide. So on the sides around my ears, I just go as close as I can to my fingers, and that seems to be about the right length to get my ears exposed. You can see I'm starting to get my ears there. A little more on this side. Just going off my iPhone here. But you can even do this without if you don't have a mirror, it is possible, just do it by feel. I found that, it used to take me a long time to cut my hair, and I found that the quicker I do it and the less I fuss over it, the better it turns out. It's never going to be perfect, but I found that, the hair really blends in and you don't really notice it so much. And even if you make a mistake here and there, it grows right in. Especially if you're self-quarantining and no one's gonna see it anyway. So I've been cutting my hair for a long time, I guess. I've only been to a barber a few times. Getting a little bit in the front, not taking as much off, if you can see that. I'm kind of lifting up. Just noticing where it's a little longer in here. It's actually not bad. I kind of like, have it be a little scruffy. I don't mind. If you're more of the G.I. Joe type, maybe this video isn't for you. You should get the buzzers. I just like to use these snips. You can get them at any drugstore. And yeah, just my fingers. I've put a little bit of tape on my knuckles because you can snip them if you're not careful. And that's where I've snipped my knuckle a little. It's not bad usually, so I've never snipped them bad anyway. Just a little, so that's what the tape's for. If this is your first time, I recommend the tape. And I'm just taking a little bit off the top, so instead of on the sides where I went real close and as close as I could, the top I'm kind of lifting up a bit and then just snipping off. And hair's pretty forgiving. It kind of does its own thing, so once you I don't know where I'm at, but once you ruffle it around a little bit, you can hardly even tell. Most people, when I cut my own hair, a lot of people don't even notice, or maybe they're too nice to say anything, but I think it's more the first that we tend to fuss over our hair more than other people notice. So it's still a little long back here. The back's the hardest part because you can't see, but like I said, I just kind of try to not take too much off and do a bunch of little snips back there. and it seems to work out all right. I'll do the same thing with my fingers. Try to keep this video kind of short because, as I said, I feel the less I fuss with it, the better it turns out. I might take a little bit more off the top. I tend to do the sides first, then maybe the back, and then get to the top, and then at the very end I'll do the bangs or the front. It's actually kind of relaxing, you know, just going through a little snip, snip, snip. Got a couple gray hairs in there. Must be turning 30 soon. Snip those out of there. My birthday's in a couple days. Yeah, this can kind of get the Mad Max look going a little bit, but maybe that's fitting these days. I kind of like it. And so now I'm going with the front, you know, just taking a little bit. Same kind of method, just a little bit here and there. You don't want it straight across. You know, messy's kind of a good thing, if you can live with it. Let's see, it's not half bad. I could use a little more in here, I think. Definitely around my ears. Just trim those up freehand. It's a little bit harder on this side because I gotta reach my other hand all the way around. I'm wearing a raincoat because it helps clean things up a little bit. You know, it's kind of like a barber smock. It's also raining a little bit here and there, so dual purpose. I like to do it outside too, because then you don't have to clean up anything. You know, you can obviously do it in your sink or in your shower, but it's a pain. Clean up all this hair afterwards. And that's getting there. Still a little bit. Take off a little bit more back here. But I have a tendency to over fuss with it, you know. I think it comes out better if you just let it be after a certain point. And you might see, you know, some long tufts here and there in the next couple of days, and then you'll be like, oh, go grab the scissors. But like I said, you're the one who's probably going to notice it more than anyone else. I guess this probably applies more to guys' haircuts than ladies. Don't have much experience with that. Cutting ladies' hair, that is. Leaving it a little longer on the top and the front. Also helps if you're, about to turn 30 or older. Kind of cover up. Makes it look like you have a little more hair maybe. So I'm fairly happy with that in the front. Might take a little more off. Work my way back. I like it a little shorter in the back. Just try not to snip my raincoat here. Can freehand it a little around the ears, just to finish it up a little. And you can go as far as you want with it. I could keep making it shorter and shorter and shorter. But I like to do it so people hardly even notice. I'll do it every few months. I'm always the most nervous about the back because I can't see it, but you guys will have to tell me how it did. Or if you got a mean comment, you don't have to. That's cool. But I've only been to a barber a few times in my life. I used to hate it. My dad would tell me he'd buy me a root beer float if he'd let me go to the barber. So at least I got some root beer floats out of the deal, but he pretty much cut my hair my whole life until he cut my ear once, and then I started doing it. And I haven't cut my ear yet, just my knuckles a couple times, just barely. Just enough so now I wear tape on them. Alright, I said I wasn't going to make this video too long, and I really don't want to overdo it here. Just cut a little bit more around my ears. Trim up those burns. See, it's a little long back there. It's one of the hardest places to reach. It's just in the back on the side. But it's getting there. Probably come back and trim up the back when I don't have this jacket on, but maybe not. We'll see how I do. Oh, you know what? I have this mirror here. So, what I can do. Good enough for me. Hope you guys learned something. Feel like you can cut your own hair. Just do a quick wash. Look good. Have a good one.